Hi, my name is Yuexi Ma. Let me introduce VTS kernel test suites to you. Prior to VTS, there were no systematic tests ported to and available for Android kernel. We introduced these kernel test suites, VTS kernel API tests, Linux test project, and the Linux kernel self-test to validate an Android kernel. Our goal is to be confident that an Android kernel will be bootable and free of known bugs if it passes all VTS tests. VTS kernel API tests are written by Android kernel team members to validate common kernel API components such as proc file system, kselftest, and SE Linux file system. Many of these tests are simple and straightforward, but all of them are used as compliance tests. Linux Test Project, or LTP, contains a set of regression tests and conformance tests designed to validate the Linux kernel for performance and stability. We ported LTP from upstream repository to Android and created a framework to run LTP tests in parallel. The default LTP test grouping contains 34 test scenarios covering syscall, memory, file system, and the kernel modules. As of now, around 900 LTP tests in more than 25 scenario groups are enabled for Android. LTP tests help cover more than 150 system calls in Android Common Kernel, and when running it in parallel, tests would finish in about 8 minutes on a Pixel phone. Linux kernel self-test, or kselftest, is a set of unit tests for Linux kernel. It is ported from Linux kernel repository to VTS in a similar way as with LTP. The current version of kselftest in VTS is forked from Linux 4.8 RC1, containing more than 36 test cases from 7 test suites, which takes around 1 hour to run. We are using some of these tests as part of our compliance requirement, but the main purpose of porting in LTP and kselftest is to help Android kernel developers validate their products and prevent bug introduction. Currently, Google are running these tests in pre-submit time to protect core Android kernel components. Thank you for watching.